Hello, everyone, and welcome. If you are just catching me now at this point, my name is Mel, and I am in the middle of doing RBM breathwork, rebirthing breathwork mastery, in the middle of a practitioner training, and this is kind of like my debrief of my experience for stage one, which is our own personal breathwork journey. So this is my session 29, out of 36, and it seems really, I don't know, it feels like we're really coming close to the end of this stage, and I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I'm excited for the transition into the next stage, but also like kind of I've really enjoyed my journey this year and just kind of relating on where things were at for me at the beginning of the year compared to now. It's just like I've gone through so much and yeah, I really don't relate. I feel like such a different person to what I was at the beginning of the year. But yeah. So if you are only just catching me now, this is video 29. So there's a whole heap more videos that you can follow my breathwork debriefs, my own personal journey. And I absolutely love this stuff, and I can't wait to be a trainer or a facilitator myself so that I can share this with everyone because it's it's really been such a powerful thing for myself. That in combination with some other things that I'm doing as well. I'm also doing the shadow work coaching, so taking on again, going deeper in some of these stories that I've been taking on in my breath work and being able to share that with people too. Um, yeah, getting the nail from a few different angles. So anyway, my intention from last week, my session 28, was to feel safe to listen to my inner guidance, my intuition, my inner knowing. And to take action on that guidance because, yeah, sometimes there's a bit of like, oh, should I, shouldn't I? A bit of self-doubt that creeps in. And to feel safe in my body, sharing love and showing up for every part of my being. So that was my intention from last week. If you've listened to my debrief from last week, actually, I found it quite interesting how what happened in my breath work actually played out in my life for the few days after. And I really think there was, yeah, a lot of releasing going on for me. And the rest of the week after that, things were pretty good. It didn't it didn't hang around for the entire week. Um, But yeah, I did kind of, yeah, it was interesting how the first couple of days after the breathe was very similar to my breathe itself and what I experienced there. Um, with the Reconnected, well, I did a little bit more work with my money story, my money nervous system response, very much in flight mode. Very much in flight mode in the sense of it comes in and it goes out straight away. And also a bit of freeze, like if I avoid situations, then they won't happen. But of course, they have to happen. Avoiding a situation serves no benefit other than avoiding the situation. Um, yeah, after doing that work, actually, again, if you've been following me, like I was talking about wanting a Thermomix and just feeling really irresponsible buying a Thermomix when there are other things that need to be doing. And I actually I made an appointment to do some more work on my car, uh, something I was avoiding. And incredibly, like I've pretty much within the last week already got all the money I need for the car. Like it's amazing how life works and the nervous system works. I stopped avoiding that, and it was kind of like, don't worry about the hows. Here it is. So I've already pretty much got the money I need for the work that I've booked it in to do, but there's still more. Yeah, so that was pretty awesome. Some of my previous intentions around being more visible. I've had, just a few random people on Instagram liking, commenting, following me, which is awesome. Um, and with that intention from last week as well, I also participated in like a it was kind of like a Q&A kind of slash how to create safety and confidence working with your intuitive abilities. So how to build confidence so that you're not constantly second guessing and yeah, how to build that confidence and also build that safety so that you feel like it's achievable. It's not a scary thing because you're in control of it. Um, so yeah, which brings me into my intention for this week. And I started feeling like really tight and sore in my shoulders, in my head, in my body. Like I felt like while I was sleeping, like I was sleeping like this. I wasn't sure what was happening. And I was kind of like, is this more stuff from last week's intention, or is this stuff for this week's? Like, am I already in preparation for this week's breathwork session? Like, I actually came into this week like not really sure what my intention was going to be because I was kind of like things feel really good. I've had lots of, positive little wins. Um, so I was kind of like really unsure. And then I did my little journaling before the breathwork session, and I kind of was just thinking maybe I just need to be with the sensations. Maybe I just need to be with what's happening in my body. And, doing my intention chat with the facilitator, we kind of um, decided I wanted my intention um, to be more about creating a safe space to express what I was holding on to. I actually like again following those like intuitive hits, it was like put on this incense. And this particular incense is just in a random bag. It has no name. And I put it on and it smells nice before you burn it, and then you burn it and it has this disgusting smell. And I was like, do I get rid of it? And there was a part of me that was like, no, this stays. Just get over it. Get used to it. And so that's kind of where it came to me. I was like, okay, my intention is about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, getting comfortable with being able to express and feel what is uncomfortable. Um, I've suppressed so much in my life. I was a big people pleaser, and so I didn't want to make anyone else feel uncomfortable. And so I would sacrifice myself and I would go without. I would be the one who was awkward and uncomfortable because I didn't want to put that on anyone else. And so, yeah, my intention was really around, um, it's time, I'm ready. There's no fear around feeling anymore. It's just like, let's just get comfortable with this. Let's express things. Let's let things out and be with them and be present with them and um yeah, stop suppressing and holding everything in. So my intention was yeah, ready to express, feeling safe to express, no resistance to expressing what's happening in my body and what's happening for me, and yeah, getting rid of um, feeling worthy of um, holding my own space and expressing my own emotion, um, which is not, yeah, not something I'm used to doing. So my final intention, I kind of scribbled a few different things because I wasn't really sure how I wanted to write that. But my final intention was to create a safe space within myself to express and release what is being held in my body. And my breathwork session um, wasn't like I was kind of anticipating this really kind of uncomfortable whatever. And it really wasn't like that at all. Um, and this has happened a few times now where I've kind of expected it to be a bit of a shit show and it really wasn't that bad at all. Um, but when I first laid down, and I didn't have any issues with this prior to laying down, my sinus got really congested and I had to kind of keep pausing my breath because I had this like post-nasal drip. So I was kind of like, clear that out the way, swallow. Okay, now I can continue to breathe. Um, and Jess, the facilitator, did also point out, and it's something that I've been told before that congestion, that mucus is very much around emotion. And so yeah, I'm a very congested person a lot of the time. Um, so yeah, I kind of started when I laid down with this congestion that came out of nowhere. My neck and my shoulders were pretty tight and sore. Actually, while I was talking through my intention with Jess, it was interesting. Like my neck and shoulders were really sore. I felt kind of heavy, like a lump in my throat. And yeah, just talking through the intention, like it's funny how things change. And that kind of heaviness a little dissipated a little bit, but just talking through my intention with just that tension in my shoulders and in the back of my head and my neck, it was really hot. It was like someone had thrown a heat pack on my head and it was quite intensely hot. Um, by the time it was my turn to, by the time we did finish the intention setting and laid down, like that heat had kind of disappeared a little bit, and yeah, there was still a little bit of tension in my shoulders, but not like it was in the beginning. Um, what happened next? Yeah, and then I started getting this like heat coming from the center of my chest, and it was like pulsating. And it came over across my shoulders as well. So it was a continuation of that heat from talking through the intention, just pulsating over my shoulders, um, and into like the tops of my arms, really throbbing, pulsating, and it was like I could feel my heart just like really um, pulsating, and it created a whole heap of pressure in my head. Like if you sit upside down with, like on a couch and you've got your head on the ground, like upside down, and your feet are up in the air, and you have that pressure in your head. That's what it felt like while I was lying down, just this pressure from this pulsation of my head filling with blood. Um, and I kind of, yeah, like it intensified slowly, and I kind of like, yeah, sat with it because, my intention was kind of about being comfortable with what's uncomfortable. And yeah, after a little bit um of that, I kind of noticed, yeah, all of this was happening like up here. Nothing much was going on in my bottom half of my body. It was kind of like, yeah, I was kind of consciously like wiggling my toes and stuff like that. And then as that pressure kind of intensified, I was like, well, there's a technique I've been taught with my massage to help um, with pressure in the brain. And so I started to like flex my feet like this, pull them back, point them, pull them back, and point them. And it relieved the pressure. It relieved the pressure, which, yeah, a massage technique. Um, and yeah, I started to wiggle my toes a little bit and kind of bring my legs um, into my breathe because I just felt really disconnected from what was happening in the lower half of my body. Um, my my neck, my SCMs, they started to pulsate rhythmically as well and bringing in that heat. And I was kind of thinking, do I do a bit of a release in my neck as well? And I was like, no, I won't worry about it. But yeah, it was just like this intense, like I could feel it like um just kind of expanding, and then it would go down, and then it was like this wave would come back, and then it would go down, and it would come back, and then it would go down. And it was yeah, kind of a really interesting experience. And then again, I kind of went um a bit more consciously to my legs, and and I just felt like this huge kind of tension in my legs. Like my legs were just like they'd been holding on for so long and they were fatigued. And there was this like overwhelming feeling of, thank God you're finally here. Like we've been holding it together. We can't keep, like, we're about to like collapse. We need you. We're so grateful that you're here. And yeah, it was kind of like this interesting, yeah, this interesting, like, oh, thank God you're here. Like we are so desperate. We need you. We need you here. And and I didn't realize that I was kind of like, whilst I was going through that, like my whole body was like my lower half of my body was kind of like really tensed up and really fatigued. And um I was kind of able to consciously like relax that and let go of that. And then some things kind of popped into my head, and one of them was food, and how I used food, and I still do to a degree, but how I used food to regulate my emotions. So I used it to suppress what was coming up for me, to feel good. And I have done a lot of work on that, but I still find myself, when I'm angry, doing that. It's just so automatic and ingrained. And also sometimes when I'm bored, I'm like, what is there to eat? Um, there were some other thoughts that kind of came into my head as well. I noticed again that like I felt my shoulders kind of really slowly creeping back up towards my ears. Um, and just that tension was there for a few breath cycles. And then again, I was able to consciously like, okay, let's relax. Um, and then my breath really deepened again as I was able to breathe into that. And then, yeah, there were some other little thoughts there that kind of came in, just about, um, just being overcritical of myself, the words I use against myself. There was also a moment where I was just kind of recalling how I used to hate being touched. I used to hate people touching me, and I used to hate people being in my personal space. And when I think about that too, like, um, that obligation you feel to hug people, even when you don't want to, yeah, just hating people being in my personal space. Um, what else have I written here? That's right. And the sinus congestion came back. I moved over to my side and I sat there for a few breaths, and then I moved over, rolled over to my stomach, and then I laid there for a few breaths, and then the sinus congestion came back. And yeah, I ended up finishing my breathe a little bit earlier. But when I finished my breathe, again, I just kind of felt really tired and I felt really heavy and kind of a little bit like I did at the beginning before we did the intentions. Um, I remember talking to myself at the beginning of the breathe too, and I was like, if I need help, if I get stuck, I'm totally putting my hand up. I'm not just gonna struggle through or anything like that, which is, good. I also really wanted to, during the breathe, take myself off of mute so that I was integrating with what was happening in the Zoom room, and people were able to integrate that with me as well. And I remember like, no, no, because they're so noisy out the room and other people will hear it. And again, it was just kind of more of that people pleasing and, um, what will people think if they hear the carry on out there? Um, which all kind of, yeah, ties into my intention and the things that I do to spare other people and the self-sacrifice that I make and those sorts of things as well. So um yeah, so that was my breathe. That was my number 29. Um I did feel complete at the end of my breathe, but I knew, and I really enjoy doing my breath work at night because I get the opportunity to just go to bed and let things continue on. Um, I've also had some pretty wild dreams recently as well after doing that practice with working with intuition. I've had some pretty wild dreams. Um, as well. So I do definitely think that, the process continues while I'm asleep. And, it's just gently there in the background doing its thing. And yeah, I woke up after the breath work yesterday feeling pretty all right. So yeah, that was my breathe number 29 out of 36. Yeah, I'm always interested to see what happens when you go back out into life. Always interested to see. I will say, I have noticed a couple of times yesterday and maybe a little bit this morning where I've kind of, just had a little bit of self-doubt there where I'm kind of like, oh, is this really what I want to be doing? Um, can I do this? Am I able to do this? And just in terms of my business and the direction that I'm going, and a little bit of kind of like, am I right? Am I the right person for this? And is this the right thing for me? And, those sorts of things. And, from the breathwork experience and even the shadow work stuff, it's all stuff that's coming up to be let go of. So I don't see this self-doubt coming up um to turn me into this like downward spiral. It's just kind of like a releasing of the self-doubt, a releasing of um those thoughts and those emotions. And so it's, yeah, just let them be there and they kind of have just gone away. I don't feed into it. Um, and they've, yeah, just kind of gone away. It's not really been a big thing. Um, yeah. So thanks for listening. And again, if you are new and you want to go and check out the rest of my videos, they'll be around here somewhere in YouTube. Um, so awesome. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And if you are curious, um, about my journey and about breath work, like let me know, make a comment. Follow me on socials, Yellow House Beauty, and on Instagram and on Facebook. And yeah, you can continue to follow what's going on for me there too. So cool. Thanks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next